Hello, I'm Steve Kuhn from International Truck and Engine Corporation. I've been the serviceability manager for the ProStar program for the last 5 years, and we've put together a whole host of interesting features that are going to affect your bottom line and help you to have the lowest cost of ownership. Some of these features you're going to be able to see for yourself here today, and you're going to be convinced, as I am, that these are going to be things that the customers are going to want. There's various things we're going to get underneath the hood. We're going to go underneath the chassis. We're going to go in the interior and take a look at some of the top features that this vehicle is going to offer to you to help your bottom line and give you the lowest cost of ownership. We'll just open up the hood here. It takes a couple of latches. I think the one on the other side is already unlatched. It's got a torsion bar assisted hood, so it's very easy to lift up. And it tilts up at over a 60-degree angle. And one of the features that we think is most exciting about this, and we recently received a patent for it, is the tilt-away bumper. Now, bumpers tend to be a barrier. Now, they're great for aerodynamics, but for the mechanic, they keep him from getting into the engine where he needs to be. So he has to jump over the bumper, scrape his pant legs getting through the bumper, put the truck up on blocks to roll under the bumper. It's a barrier. So what we've done is we said, okay, let's get the bumper out of the way for him temporarily, and let's do it without tools. So we've got a couple of hood-style latches, over-center latches here. One's on this side. We'll unlatch the one over here on the other side. Simple as that. The bumper comes loose, swings right down, has cables to hold it from hitting the ground. And now with that bumper down, I can just walk right in here, and I can stand in an area that you can't stand in very many other trucks. Also, the neat thing that happens here is we have a causeway that opens up underneath the vehicle. So if I were in a creeper, I could roll right underneath there, do an under-engine inspection, drain the oil pan. I have access that previously was unavailable on an aerodynamic truck. Some of the other neat features that we have in this are readily seen here under the hood. One of them is no-tool bulb replacement. All that's necessary to change a bulb on this truck is to pull the wire out and then rotate the bulb and pull it out in your hand. It's a very commonly available bulb available at any international dealership, and if you happen to be in between dealerships, it's commonly available at many other parts stores. We're doing this because we care about the customer, and we want him to have what he needs to get him down the road so he doesn't have an out-of-service violation. Some other things that we have in here is our translucent reservoirs. This is a surge tank. This tells how much coolant is in the system. So he can look at his max line, his min line and max line here, get the coolant in there. As you can see, this one here is just a little bit on the low side, so we can add some coolant to that through this cap right here. The cap is located on a nozzle that has a little bit of a tilt to it. That way it saddles our gallon jug, and we have a no funnel fill. Funnels are messy, they're hard to find, they mix fluids, they add dirt to the system that you're putting it into, so we've tried to make it so you don't need funnels to maintain this truck. Another great feature here is the translucent windshield washer bottle. Okay, it's got a label cap, so you know what fluid's supposed to go in there. The cap is tethered, so you're not going to lose it, especially in a dark parking lot. It holds 2.3 gallons of fluid, and the reason why we did that is when it gets down low, and the windshield washer level light may come on in the dash, you can take 2 whole gallon jugs, pour them both in there, throw the empty jugs away, and head on down the road without having to carry a partially full container banging around in your sleeper or in your day cab. Some other great features we have here is conveniently located valves that open and close the heater system. In the summertime, sometimes you want maximum air condition efficiency, so we put them right out here where you can easily get to them, turn them on and off in whatever season you happen to find yourself. Another feature that we have on here is thumb screws on the HVAC intake grate. There's a filter down inside here that needs to be changed from time to time, and if you just put your fingers on those thumb screws, unscrew the 2 screws, pull that off, you can put it in there, no tools. Some other features that we have on this truck here include things like a bug screen. You can see it from the back side of the hood here. That's going to keep your radiator package clean, so you've got less cleaning necessary there. Let's move around to the other side of the truck and see what we can find over there. Over here, another translucent reservoir for the power steering fluid. The air cleaner can be changed with no tools. It's just a twist and a pop, and the element is right out in your hand. It goes right back together just about as quick as it came apart. Something we want to do to give lowest cost of ownership is we want to allow them to use the air cleaner as long as they possibly can. So we put a filter minder unit on there. Now many filter minders are purely mechanical. You look underneath the hood and you see what it registers, and if it's reached full restriction, you change your filter. We've added another optional feature on here that has an electronic feature on it. There's an electronic switch that will actually send a message to the dashboard that says air filter restriction. Right in here in the engine compartment, we also put our fuel water separator, and that keeps it a little warmer in the cold winter weather so it's not freezing up, reduces the chance of fuel gelling. Some other features that we have here is we've added a split fan shroud. As you can see down here, we have a joint. There's another joint over there on the other side. This section of the fan shroud can be removed, and that way the fan can be taken out easily and the fan clutch can be replaced without disconnecting all these hoses, draining coolant, tilting the radiator forward, and some of the other hijinks that you have to go through to be able to get a fan clutch out of many of the trucks that are on the road today. Engine oil fill operations can be rather messy because sometimes they have a need for a funnel. International Truck and Engine Corporation has worked together with Cummins Engine Company on this ISX engine to develop the telescoping oil fill tube. It has a tethered cap, so the cap won't get lost on a dark night underneath the truck. And you just reach in, pull out the telescoping section, lock it in, and add your oil. It's perfectly angled so that it will accept the oil without spilling it anywhere. You can put the telescoping section back in, tighten the cap, and forget about storing that dirty funnel. All right, let's go underneath the vehicle and see what's underneath there. We've got some neat features underneath the vehicle here. One of the things that we've added to this truck is remote clutch cross shaft grease zerks. And a mechanic can roll underneath the truck and he can get his gun on these grease zerks here without having to reach way up into a dark cavern where he can't even see what he's working on. The grease zerks hang down, they're mounted to the bell housing, and he can easily get his grease gun up there and do a quality greasing job, keep the clutch cross shafts in great shape, keep the driver happy because he's got a smooth pedal, and head on down the road. One of the other features that we have on the truck is a Bendix 80IS air dryer. That has a spin-on desiccant cartridge. All you need to operate it is a strap wrench. Spin the old cartridge off, spin the new cartridge on, and you're done. Some of the other neat features on here, we have breakaway mirrors, so you don't damage the door. The strut there comes loose if the mirrors hit from the front or the rear, and if you happen to lose a lens, or if one of the mirrors has a heater that's gone bad, you can just pop the mirror right out of there, disconnect your heater wires, and put another mirror right back in. That easy. Remember I was telling you about the air filter minder, the electronic air filter minder. This is the odometer right here, and that's where your reading will come out at. If we want to move back further into the cab, we can take a look at the HVAC filter for the sleeper. All that's necessary to change the rear HVAC filter is to access the bed latch, open the bed, come over to the rear HVAC module, access the filter with your fingers, pull it out with no tools, get a clean filter from your parts department, push it right back in, and you're done. And now we got to show you some great things that might be helpful to you if you have an electrical problem. Let's say you got an overloaded circuit, or for some reason a wire shorted out. In most cases you blow a fuse. But with the optional manually resettable circuit breakers, you can reuse the circuit breaker and continue on with your mission. These little colored buttons on the top here will pop up and tell you exactly which circuit has a problem. Match up, use this wiring diagram here to tell you which circuit that is, and you can pinpoint where the problem is with your truck. When you're done, Snap her right back into place. Many times a lot of truckers want to take care of their vehicle on the road, take a little responsibility for keeping it rolling. And that also keeps your cost of motion down. So you can get yourself a crate, put some gallon jugs in it, and we've sized the luggage door to fit exactly this. I think we've been able to see today that International's packed the ProStar with all kinds of service-friendly features that can give you the lowest cost of ownership.